Hey guys, it's Mike here, and I just wanted to bring out my friend here, Bryan Vaughn. He
What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
he's been in the industry for a while now, more than me. So I just wanted to ask him a few questions on digital marketing. So
Awesome, man.
yeah, so like one of my questions that I got is like, what was your experience when you first started online marketing?
Well, Mike, you know me. We kind of run in the same circles, so I think you know that I was a business owner for 12 years before I actually got started, right?
Yeah,
So the problem is that I was working 80-hour weeks pretty much every week, and this went on for a couple years to the point where it was like causing me to have health problems. I was having some marital issues just because I was never home. And on
yeah,
top of that, I just was totally missing my kids growing up. Man, I remember one day in particular, I was at work, at 8 p.m. And, my wife is like texting me pictures of my kids, like doing these milestone things that I should have been home for. And I just finally got fed up with it. I really did. I got so sick of it. I started trying to figure out a way out and trying to figure out something else I could do, to support my family. And, I had heard about digital marketing. And I really just started doing all kinds of research and just dove headfirst into it. And the real challenge for me, Mike, in the beginning was that I was already working 80-hour weeks and I was then trying to come home, right? And I started, you have to kind of master this skill set, which takes a good bit of learning in the beginning. So I would come home and basically steady for, after 8 or 9 p.m. until midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning sometimes. And it was very difficult because that went on for several months. That was, a 3 or 4 month process. But after the fourth month, right, I had my first $4,500 day online. Okay. And everything at that point just got really real for me. It just like all that effort started to pay off. And I finally realized I was like, hold on a second. Like I just made like half my, month's salary almost in a day. How, like there's got to be something more to this. So at that point is when I really kicked it into high gear because I'd gotten my first little taste of success with it, so to speak. Right. And just like everything else, it totally backfired on me. The next month, I didn't do hardly anything at all. I just had a really rough the next month. But the month after that, I doubled that and made almost 10,000. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7 months into it. Was my first $10,000 month online. So anyway, I say all that to say, yes, it's challenging in the beginning. It's certainly not one of those things you're going to go and just, it's not a get rich quick thing, but it definitely works. And it really rewards people who persevere through those challenges in the beginning when you're trying to like learn a skill set while also working, which by the way, is how I would recommend to do it.
yeah,
Like you don't want to just go and quit your job and I'm going to become a digital marketer. Like you got to give yourself time to learn it and give yourself time to make some mistakes without having to like, without your family having to rely on that when you don't know what you're doing yet.
yeah,
Right. So that's the point. It's like, do it alongside your job and just over time, you try to segue this into becoming your primary gig. And that's what happened for me.
yeah,
And I feel really, really blessed that I found that. So,
yeah. Thanks, Brian. Thanks, Brian, for sharing. But like, I have another question for you. What was your biggest
yeah, what's up?
objection?
Well, I'll tell you this, Mike, like that's pretty easy one to answer because I had one big one and several small ones, but the big one was, I'm just the natural skeptic, right? So anything I see on the internet, I pretty much think is BS. I
Yeah,
mean, but at the same time, I'll tell you this, there was something about it that seemed to appeal to me in such a way that I had to at least investigate it to make sure it was real. I'm
yeah,
like, if this can do, like, okay, so there's one thing about this that's different than everything else, and that's building a sales funnel campaign, right? It takes the same amount of work to make one sale as it does 10,000 sales. Once you build that campaign out, right, you don't have to do any additional manpower hours and work to make all those extra sales, right? So you have to build it once just to send one customer through it. But then it's built. You can keep sending people through it, and it'll keep converting and keep bringing you sales, and you can make money literally while you're asleep. And that is the time free. I wanted that time freedom. So, but that's the thing that made me keep investigating it, because when I first heard it, I was like, there's just no way that's possible. There's just, if this is so great, then why haven't I heard of it yet? So anyway, with AWOL, like where we got our education from, there's a coaching process. And the whole point of the coaching process is basically, you get on a call with a coach and they assess like your skill level, like where you're at, what your goals are with digital marketing, and they kind of formulate a plan on how to get you there, right? So I took that whole call and I was doing nothing but hammering the guy on my skeptic questions. In fact, I don't know if I told you this either. I had 4 coaching calls. Wow. And I remember my coach's name is Mike Hurley. He's a great guy, and he was such a sport about it, dude. Like he didn't get annoyed at me, and like I feel like probably a lot of people would have. He was a sport and answered all my questions. But I'll tell you what it really was. When I got inside the community and started making friends, and I got into the training a little bit, and I started realizing, oh, okay, so we're like 1099 subcontractors for other businesses, and we do their marketing so they don't have to hire and staff a marketing department and pay salaries and health benefits and all that. Like, then it started to really click and make sense, and I realized, oh, man, this is a real thing. And then, like I said, when I, several months into it, I started making sales. It was like, my skepticism level started here, and over a period of time, it just kind of dove. And now I'm just all in.
Yeah, definitely. That's awesome. And the last question I have, what kind of advice would you give others that are thinking on joining and starting on digital marketing?
Okay, so that's also a pretty easy one, Mike. A lot of people, what they like to do, I've noticed, is they get on the list, they're interested, but they're just, they kind of want to sit on the outside because they're not really sure. And, sometimes that sitting there, other things come up in life, they forget about it, and they potentially miss a really great opportunity. So the beautiful thing about, the beginning and AWOL is they offer like 20 hours of training content, right? This is like how to build a sales funnel,
pretty crazy.
how to integrate everything, like, and it's $99. Like, the value for what you pay for it is just stupid, right? So here's the best part is they make this like risk-free, right? So you get 2 weeks to try this out and go in and get your feet wet. And if after 2 weeks is over, you're not happy with it, or you don't think that you're going to enjoy it, or you don't like it, you can just simply request a refund, give no reason at all, and they give you your money back. And they let you keep the training in case, like, at some other point in time in life, you decide to come back to it. I think that's incredible. So the point is really the best way for you to investigate digital marketing and see if this is going to be something that you're going to enjoy, that you're going to be good at, that you can really be passionate about. The best way to evaluate that is from the inside, right? So go ahead, pay the $99, get Pro Academy, join the AWOL Facebook group, start talking to the other members, make friends in the community, and start going through the training, and you'll realize in 2 weeks if this is going to be something that's a good fit for you or not. If it is, amazing, right? Then you just start your journey. If not, it's like, no big deal. You just go and you get your money back. So they really can't, there's just, there's no risk in it at all. You're not going to lose any money if it's something that you don't like. And that's honestly my best advice for people. Like, don't sit on the fence. Go ahead and take that first step, right? And get on the inside, and then you can properly evaluate it and see if it's something that you're gonna be good at.
Yeah. All right. So, that's all the questions I have for you, Bryan, today. And
okay. All right.
So, guys, you heard it from the one and the only Bryan. So all I can say is just take action. All right. See you later, guys. Have a good one.